Well, this is fun, Bob. What one of the many things I appreciate about you is your willingness to explore all these new tools that Substack offers, and well, look at that. We've got folks on the call. I just wanted to let you know I was gonna have this home office all ooh, am I frozen? Are we frozen?
You're frozen for the moment.
Well, bummer.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We can hear you still, but people are still coming in to our live chat.
Bob,
Yes.
can you see me?
Yes, I can see you in there. For a moment, your lips moved. So that's a
Uh, okay, I don't know why this is not working as it should, but we'll figure it out together. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Laura. Hi, David. Hi, Seth. Hi, Barry. Hi, Chuck. Hi, Lori. Okay. We are. Can you see me okay?
I can see you. I can see a frozen image of you.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying is one of the things I really appreciate about you is your willingness to try these new tools. I think anytime somebody tries something new, there's oftentimes a little hiccup, but what the heck?
Well, I like this because I don't know. This is a new thing that Substack is offering is via desktop, and we wanted to try that. People can still see it on their mobile device, but it's a lot easier for me to use my laptop than it is my phone. My fingers are too big for the buttons on my phone much of the time. But anyway, welcome, Julie Gamick. Uh, we've got a lot of people here that are slowly joining, and I'll just quickly get into a quick introduction. Julie is she's had a storied career in journalism and all kinds of other things at the Register and WHO Radio and some consulting. And now she's done something remarkable over the past few years. She's done a couple of things that are remarkable. One is the Okoboji Writers and Songwriters workshop, and then also retreat. Also, she's the brain behind the Iowa Writers Collaborative. And both things are just pretty amazing, and I'm honored to be a part of them. And one of the things that we want to talk about today is the Okoboji Mastery Circle. Do you want to elaborate on anything else that I said before we get into that?
No, that sounds great, although I'm still frozen. Do you see me frozen on your end?
Yes, but we can see you, and
Okay.
and I would just continue, and you'll come out of it hopefully.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, Bob, as you know, and as you have written about after every Okoboji Writers Retreat so eloquently, it's life's changing for many people. And I do a survey before and after the retreat, and invariably somebody will say, I wish this could go on all year, or I wish there was an online option. And I haven't really taken any kind of action on that. But this year, I've had the opportunity to do live classes with Story Summit on how to launch a Substack column, and I really got how you can translate the magic online. To some extent, it's still not being together, but it opens up a lot of possibilities for people who can't, for whatever reason, participate in real life. Plus, it gives folks the opportunity to stay connected with the community, with the speakers, and kind of have somebody holding them accountable as they, work through their projects. So it's I'm excited about it. We'll see, and I'm glad you're going to be a part of it. And we're going to do the first one with Kali White Benbali, who, as you know, is a fabulous writer and teacher. And we're going to get to the heart of storytelling with Callie coming up starting January 14th. the mastery classes will be held the second Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock, and I look forward to seeing as many people participate as possible.
Well, one of the magic things about Okoboji is, all of the different people there from all levels of writing. You know, we've got everything from in songwriting, we've got video and screenwriting and, all kind and songs and film, and it's just it breaks so many boundaries for people. It's like, "Oh, that's how you write a screenplay. Oh, that's how they put that song together." It's just it opens us up to the creative processes of so many people, and the environment to me is such that people coming from all walks of life, sharing their experiences, their passion, and since there's a lot of experts there, but none of us are experts at a lot of the things. And so if I want to go to a songwriting class or a speech writing class or anything, yeah, I can learn from the expertise of the different people. And what you've done this year with the Mastery Circle is you've selected a few people that you think that have something to offer that people will be interested in, and just try to bring that experience of Okoboji just into our living rooms, and what's also or into our offices. But what's also magic is whenever I go anywhere and I see people from that I've met at Okoboji, it could be at a meeting, it could be a street corner, it could be whatever. The magic continues, and it's going to continue online.
Yeah, yeah. Bob, I don't know exactly what happened, how or why, but, Nicole Bart, my God, what a beautiful writer. Richard and I just finished her latest novel, and I'm still thinking about it 2 weeks later, about different scenes from her latest novel. And she just wrapped up a book tour after launching this new book, Where He Left Me is the title of it. I highly recommend it. And she said, "I don't know why, but for some reason or other this year, the people who showed up at the book signings, it just felt like such a community." And that's because so many of the people showing up were from the Okoboji Writers Retreat for her. And I look around at not just the people who are successful published authors, but people who come just for fun. They don't have a project in mind, but maybe they wanna write better emails or holiday letters or whatever. It does not matter why somebody comes, because there is a reason why you're there, and a lot of people don't know what it is when they arrive and get clarity as the day goes by. So it's it's magical. I don't understand it, but it's true.
Part of the reason it's magical is everybody sets their egos aside.
Yes. Yes. And Bob, that's intentional. I hold calls with the speakers ahead of time and just make it real clear that we are there in service to the participants, and that they're we're there to empower, not criticize, not demean, but we are there to support them wherever they are in the journey. And then I have people who have on the call who are speakers who have actually been a part of that process and can speak from the heart about why that's important and some of the contacts they've made and people they've helped because of having that come from. We've all been in school situations, academic situations where people are graded and criticized, and for many people, that's where they stopped writing. You know, Somebody gave them an F on a paper, or a red check mark here or there, and it was demoralizing. Our job is to empower and inspire, and I think it works.
Yeah, it works. It's like, I don't know. I think that your point of no criticism and no grades, it means that I remember I had a teacher once, freshman year in college. I wanted to write more than she was giving assignments, and so I said, "Can I?" And I didn't know what else to do, so I asked for more assignments. And so the more assignments I did, the more critical she was of me. And so I ended up going from an A in the class to the B. The more I wrote, the more I went challenges, the more she criticized me. And at the end of it, I just thought, I hear I went to all this extra work, and she gave me the extra judgment. Maybe wasn't seeing it for what it was. Maybe she made me a better writer, but it was like the constant flailing at the grade rather than
Mhm.
what I was trying to write, trying to please her rather than trying to follow my muse. And
Yeah.
so this really sort of sets it up for everybody to follow their muse, go the direction that they want to go, be who they want to be as a writer, not somebody else. And I think that's just liberating for a lot of people.
It really is, and I heard, an expert in Substack say one time that her job is to help people find their audience, and I thought that was such a good way to put it, because I don't want folks coming to the writers retreat thinking they're guaranteed to get a, book contract and a best-selling novel out of it. That's not realistic. Some may, but what's important is to find your audience, even if that's your family or 1 or 2 people. Every time I move, which is rather frequently, I I unearth a little pamphlet book. Well, it's a hardcover book, but it's small, about an uncle I never met because he died before I was born. And every time I sit down and I read that booklet, and I always learn something new, and I never would have known 99% of what's in that book about this man who was pretty great, had it not been that his friends took the time to sit down and write about this man's life. And, if we don't do that for our grandchildren, grandchildren, friends, who's gonna know? It's just gonna all be gone. And, I just think that's a shame.
Well, and I've told this story regularly, but I was giving a talk at a retirement home in Pella. I was talking about writing and the importance of sharing your stories with your kids and grandkids. And I said, everything doesn't have to be perfect. If I handed you a letter from your grandma or grandpa right now, would you be upset if the grammar were wrong? And they said, no, I wouldn't be upset. And so hopefully some people went to write, but afterwards, two women came up to me, and one was a former teacher at Pella High, and one was a former professor of English at uh, Central College. And I asked them, "So have you written your letters, your memoir, whatever?" They were afraid to because everything wasn't going to be good enough for their teachers decades ago. And so we break down those boundaries. We give some hints, some tips, and so it's a very intimate at Okoboji, but hopefully we can bring some of this, to our Zoom calls or
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and I think, at least that's what I've experienced doing the Story Summit Zoom classes. There is a community. It's a different kind of community, but there is a community element to the classes, and they'll still be small enough that there'll be a lot of interaction with the speakers. I don't know if we'll break into small groups. Maybe we'll see. Of course, that's all up to the individual instructor. But my God, to sit for 90 minutes on a Zoom call with Peter Hedges or Nicole Bart or Bob Leonard or any of the people, Rochelle Chase, any of the people we have lined up. And I'm sorry, I'm going to skip some of the names, but each and every one of them are top scorers on the participant survey list from Okoboji. Not that anyone is a poor scorer, because most of them get 9s or 10s. Um, but their classes are very popular, and I think what's gonna happen is, you know, I don't know about you, but one of the frustrating things about the retreat is that I can't be everywhere. I can't I've gotta be putting out fires, to some extent, so I can't just sit down and really absorb a workshop. So I'm really looking forward to doing this because 'cause I'll actually be able to participate in the workshops, but to be able to be in a small group setting with people like this who are there 100% to help the people on the call is just gonna be amazing. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I also learn a lot from the people at Okoboji, from the fellow instructors, but I also learn from people that are there just, you know, to participate, to learn, to sign up because of their different life experiences that they're willing to share. And I think that I hope that some of that comes across where people get to share some of their backgrounds. I mean, a couple of years ago, I had breakfast every day with a guy that was a lucha libre wrestler in Muscatine. I mean,
Really?
yeah, and so it was really interesting hearing his stories and what he was writing, what he was interested in writing about. And so hopefully there'll be some of that too, where we can learn from other people there, all of us together, and build a bit of a team that we can then contact later, with questions or, and for me, some of it is like if it's breaking barriers for people too. It's opening doors for people. I've already been through this door. Here's how you get through it. And I suspect some of that's going to happen.
Bob, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Um, you've been, what, 3, 4 times now. What are some of the takeaways that you've brought into your extraordinary work? Can you think of anything in particular that you might have picked up that you do a little different as a result of what you learned in Okoboji? Does anything pop to mind? I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. I know it's sort of a fire hose when you're actually there, but has it changed you?
Well, yes, being exposed to, the different people, the songwriters in particular, learning how to do that. Not that I will ever be able to do it, but I will, you never know. Now at least I know how they do it. The the greats have sat there before, and seeing the passion for different things gives me passion. I've been sitting in classrooms and getting lectured at for since 1959. I tell you, the very best presentation I've ever seen since 1959 was Peter Hedges,
Really?
and it was about how to adapt a novel to a screenplay, something I'm never gonna do, but it was still the very best thing. And so I guess what it's done is it's reinforced my sense of doing what I do best, put forward the best part of me I can, and also reinforce the sense of place and being there in, what I do. I mean, I've always do that. I write from experience and being in places, but just being in that place with all those people is inspirational, and as you said, I write something every year after it about
Mhm.
people that have influenced, me, so, no, yeah, it's hard to say what exactly influences you, but everything does, and just the kindness, the empathy. It's a tough world out there, and to be surrounded by people that care and love you, I mean, it's fantastic, and and the people that are doing this, I know that they're gonna bring that to the mastery class.
Yeah, they really are. I had an idea a couple years ago, I didn't take action on it, but your series that you and Jason did interviewing people who are unhoused at the moment, reminded me of it, and I'm gonna just throw this out there, I don't know if it would work, but I called it the $50 project, and my idea was to take a journal book and a pen and, maybe a gift card to a McDonald's and find somebody who may be, at a sign trying to raise money at a intersection and just say, hand them the journal book or ask them first if they would like to write their story in however many words, and I would come back and pick it up the same corner a week from the day at the same time, and in exchange for their getting the journal book back, I'd give them $50 and, permission to use their story. And I just think it'd be a great idea. I don't know. What do you think of that?
I think it's a great idea. Over the years, I've learned that most people are want to tell their stories. It's like, we say, "How are you doing?"
Mhm.
Do we really mean it? We often don't mean that. And so to ask somebody about their story, I've found working in radio is a lot of people want to. And it was reinforced when Jason Wall-Smith and I went and interviewed the people at the food pantry and ended up going to a a camp in the woods. And then people really want to tell their stories. And so I think that's a great idea. And yeah, I'll do it with you. I
Okay.
stopped to talk with people that are asking for money regularly just to hear their stories, and they're fantastic. And you know what? They're so similar to our own stories. We can share so much of their experience just by being kind and, um, just seeking to learn.
Without resources, um, a flat tire, a broken refrigerator, any one of those things, let alone accumulation of many of those things happening at once, could put so many people out in the street or 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 whatever, or worse, that I don't think we realize how close so many in this country are to that kind of predicament. And thanks to you and Jason for telling those stories. I keep thinking about the one guy who what was his story? It was just the whole trailer park thing, mobile home park thing, where the wealthy developers are buying them up because they see an opportunity in folks who have no place to go. They bought their mobile home and they have a lot, and the developers are coming in and buying these places and jacking up the rates from everything for your sewer pad to your uh, garbage pickup, la 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 la, and they don't have the ability to pay, and they don't have the ability to move their trailer anywhere, their mobile home, and it's happening all around the country, and one of the least covered stories of our time. But thanks to you and Jason, there was another example of that. Anyway, I think it's hard it's hard for policymakers to understand what needs to be changed if they don't know these stories. I mean, we would hope that a lot of good people go into politics to make a positive difference. But if they don't know about these stories, and most of these people don't have a representative or somebody speaking for them, certainly not a microphone, that how are these political leaders going to know what needs to be changed?
Well, and it's with respect to those, political situations, those social situations, that a lot of people in the Iowa Writers Collaborative write to, or a few people anyway, but there's lots of other stories that people need to hear too. I mean,
Mhm.
there's everybody here that's in this room, and we're very grateful for you being here. You all have your stories, and you also have an urge to tell other people's stories. I mean, there's
Mhm.
something everybody here that's going to watch this or that might attend the mastery circle, they either want to tell their stories or help other people tell stories. And what we want to do is, I think, all of us, no matter what we're writing about, whatever seems, might even be, mundane about, the dandelions in your yard, ultimately we write to change the world. We write in some small way to change the world. Most of us write to make the world a better place, even if it's just to make another person laugh. I mean, what can you do over the course of the day that could be better than making somebody laugh or, bring emotions to a situation? And I think that everybody yearns to tell their stories to change the world. And with Okoboji and with the Mastery Circle, those of us with some experience will, be there to and not only, not just to, we're not there to tell you how to do it. We're there to tell you, here's a path that we've taken or we know other people take. Here's how you get past this gatekeeper. Some people don't even know that there is a gate, let alone how to get past the gatekeeper. And so some of that will happen if you want to know the process of getting your novel, accepted. What's the process? How does that work? Or, a column in your local newspaper or, any kind of thing, the expertise will be there to help you, should the mastery circle be successful and continue and hopefully, keep Okoboji alive until, the spirit of Okoboji, the Okoboji writers and songwriters retreat alive through the dark winter.
Yes, exactly. You were so sweet to do this, Bob. I really appreciate your willingness and interest in leveraging your audience and your folks to show them and tell them about this opportunity. You've got a great audience, and just because of you, because of what you're doing, what you're writing, and I so appreciate you for many, many reasons. Thank you.
And likewise, so where do people learn more about the Writers Circle?
Well, they can, that's a good question because I don't have it on the website per se, but they could go to jegamick.substack.com. And I just want to make sure that's the correct address, because I created a new Substack column just to keep folks apprised of the goings on of the retreat. And ooh, no, it's J Gamick, not J.E. Gamick. Sorry about that. I wasn't prepared for this. Bad me. jgamick.substack.com, which is separate from my potluck column or the Iowa Writers Collaborative column, but it's the Okoboji Writers and Songwriters Retreat News. And the top post is Okoboji on your mind. Let's keep the vibe going all year round. And Bob, I will send you a link to this. So if you're going to use this, you can use it, that you can put the link in the recording if you don't mind.
I wouldn't mind. And if you wouldn't mind dropping it in the live chat, that would be great too.
Well, my live chat does not seem to be working.
Okay.
The numbers are stuck at 9. And oh, wait, maybe I can put that in here. Let's try. Let's see. But for some reason, other live chat is frozen. Did that come up?
Yep, it came up.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Well, let's talk about this $50 project, because I'll bet you, I'll bet you we get some really interesting stories.
Yes, especially if we give people time to write, to think about it too.
Uh-huh.
What is the most important story they want to share with us?
Maybe we give them a little, one pager thought starters. Where are you from originally? What did you want to be when you grew up? Just thought starters, and see what happens.
Well, that sounds great. Anything else you'd like to add, Julie, before we close?
If people aren't aware of the Iowa Writers Collaborative, I can't be more proud of this thing. We have over 60, almost 70 writers who are from all around the state. And for the first time in years, I feel we're beginning to connect people from Davenport to Waterloo to Bussey to Knoxville. Hey, how's the move going? Are you all settled?
We're getting there.
Are you in the new place now?
I'm in the new place now.
Cool.
Still
Cool.
still moving some things, still being a reluctant handyman.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Well, we want you writing, so get those done.
Will do. Well, thank you so much, Julie. Thank you for everybody that attended today. Thank you to all of you that participate, subscribe, support us. It just means so much to get your positive feedback and encouragement and ideas. Just thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody on the call. And just enjoy your day.
One thing, if I might add, Bob, as soon as we end the call, I'm going to complete uploading a conversation I had with Admiral Mike Franken,
Mhm.
who was uh, who was a big admiral in the United States Navy, and his thoughts on blowing up boats in the ocean and then finishing off a couple of human beings as they clung to the side of the boat is chilling. And I highly recommend that you hear this entire conversation because this guy knows what he's talking about. He's been there, he's done that. He knows what's legal and what's not legal, and he will instruct you.
It was a great conversation.
Absolutely. Okay, and people can find that at okobojivriters.substack.com.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you,
Thank you, Bob.
everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Take care. Bye bye.